everybody, welcome back. Today I want to show you how to make a clear vinyl H2O bag. Hello everyone, welcome to Pieces of the Past. My name is Deborah. I have a passion for fiber arts and creating new things from old. Join me on my journey as I explore the endless possibilities, the tools, and the techniques to create new pieces of the past. The other day I was on the internet groups and someone asked a question if you could make the H2O bag, which is a pretty popular bag, in clear vinyl. And I thought, wow, that's an interesting thought. So I tried it and it turned out really great, and I wanted to do a video for those who wanted one on that group and anybody else that might want to make it. The bag is called the H2O TOGO bag, and you can get it from Lynn's Handmade Designs, and I'll put that link in the description below. You have to have the pattern to do this video, so it's not really going to make a lot of sense. In this video, the hack is not going to make a lot of sense if you don't have the pattern, but you can still follow along and see what I do if you like. But you can go to the website, buy the pattern, and then mine is done on, I did some hacks first from other people, and I'll link their link. I'll put their links in the description below for you to show you what I did first to get to my bag. My bag is 85% smaller than the original pattern calls for, so I reduced it. And then I did a squared off bottom on mine. You can see some pictures here of what my normal H2O bags look like. They're a little bit smaller than the biggest one, and they have the squared off bottom, so they sit by themselves. The clear vinyl one is done off of my pattern, off of my hacks already in place. So you'll have to kind of figure that out. But anyway, this video will show you the technique that I used for making my clear vinyl one, and even if you're using the original pattern, you can use these same techniques to make that bag. So this is what it looks like. It has the strapping for the, hello, all kinds of messed up. Okay, it has the strapping. It's a clear bag like this. Great for taking to sporting events, things like that. Now, some sporting events won't let you take clear bottles or any bottles in, but you can still take your bag and then buy a bottle of something there and use it. So anyway, the bottles fit in the bag like so. And there's a bigger one. I'll show you the bigger one. There we go, a bigger bottle. So the 85%, which is what I'm using size-wise, it fits this big bottle, so it's really cool. Okay, now you can also, the really nice thing about the clear bag is that you can put your phone right there, and believe it or not, you can actually use your phone. See, I used it through the, let's see, let's pull up something. There, see? Pretty cool. So that's nice, you don't have to take it out. Okay, so that is the bag. It has a square ring here and a slider right here. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so the things that you need for this, besides the pattern, are going to be your clear vinyl. So I am cheap, or let's say thrifty, and I used this for my clear vinyl from the hobby store. It's the stuff that you use to put over tablecloths when you're doing like an event or something. It's used for all kinds of things. Anyway, this is what I use. It's much cheaper than the pricey clear vinyls. Now, you can do this bag using the printed vinyl now. I think that's really cool stuff, but I haven't bought any yet. But you can do that out of this. I think it would be nice. So, you will need, this is my pattern. I have the pattern piece here to show you because you can't really see. So this is the main piece to the H2O to go bag. So you need one of those cut out of the clear. And then you need one, now this is where you go to the hack for mine. I have a square pocket on the front of mine. So you'll need one of these, or rectangle, one of these pocket pieces. And that's all the vinyl you need for this, just those two pieces. The rest of the stuff that you need, you'll need some, and I'll show you how to make this pattern piece. You'll need 4 pieces of fabric cut in this shape, okay? There's 4. Right sides together like that, 2 right sides together. Okay, and then this is the pattern piece for that. And I'll show you how to get that in a minute. And then you'll need some bias tape. This is 1/2 inch double fold. Ooh, there we go. Double fold bias. You have to use bias for this because of the curves. You can make your own, but you have to use bias tape for this. You will need a square or rectangle instead of a D-ring. You'll need a square ring. And you'll need a slider, and you'll need the strapping. And I use the same length, I think it was like 54 inches or something of the strapping. And I'll have links to all the products anyway, the strapping and stuff in the video below. To get this pattern piece to cut, all right, you're going to take your original pattern for the sling, right? This main piece, and you're going to draw around this top part up here. Now you see how my pattern piece is bigger? Okay. What I did was I extended it out 1/4 of an inch past this. So what I did, I laid it down on a piece of paper, or actually I laid it down on this plastic. But anyway, if you were doing this on paper, you can lay it down on paper, and then you just measure 1/4 of an inch. Now I have these handy little circle things that measure for me. I don't know if you've ever seen them, but they're really cool. They add a seam allowance to the sides of your whatever you're working on. So you just go like this, right? Go around the top on this side, okay, like that. And then what I did was I took and squared off the bottom, just wherever. I don't know where that was that I did, but like that. And there's my pattern piece, okay? So you're going to need that 1/4 of an inch on each side to sew this piece right here, okay? So you do that. That's all the stuff you need. And I think we're ready to sew it together. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do is to work on your pocket. If you do the hack with the squared off pocket, you need to reduce the length of it by about 1/2 an inch because you're not sewing fabrics together to make the lining. You're only using this one piece as if it was already made a pocket. So you need to take off some of the length of it. So go ahead and do that. And then what you'll want to do is take your bias and let me cut this off. Oh, we use the big scissors. All right. Okay, so you'll want to take your bias, put it across the top. This helps being able to see the vinyl too. Okay, across the top, like that, and just sew it, top stitch. Now, somebody in one of the groups suggested using a vinyl strip up here, like colorful vinyl or something. I don't remember what it was. I use the fabric because it makes it easier to slide the phone in and out. It doesn't get stuck on the glass of the phone. So that is why. Let me sew this. Okay, so just basic top stitching, and then I'm going to come in here and cut this off right here. All I'm doing is I'm lining up the clear vinyl. I'm lining my ruler up on the edge of it and just continuing that line with my rotary cutter and just cutting that off. So now we have a pocket piece. Yay! Okay, now what you do is you find the center of your pocket by folding it, right? Folding it in half lengthwise. And then I just made a tiny, tiny little snip in that fold. Remember, you can't put the vinyl back together, so you just want it where you can see it. See? Okay, now you can't see that. It's clear vinyl. Okay, and you want to do the same thing on your big piece. Make a snip in the very bottom middle. So you know where the center is. See? I don't know if you can see that or not. This is hard doing a video with clear vinyl. Okay. Okay. So I want my pocket to be in the center of my piece. And I want it to be 2 inches from the bottom. So I'd use my ruler. And trust me on this, because you can't see it. I line up one of my lines on my ruler. See that one? And I put that other notch that I made on the pocket on that same line, 2 inches above, right there. Okay, right there. All right. Now, you can't pin this, right? And you can't clip it because it's in the center of your bag. So what you're going to do now is take Scotch tape and tape it on the sides. Just one on each side should hold it exactly where you want it. Take off the magnet. Okay, so that's where it's going to be, right in the center of our bag. So then I'm going to take and I'm going to top stitch here, here, and here. Across the orange at the top, I'm going to top stitch, making sure to back stitch. Okay, and then you only get one shot at this, so you have to go right down the side. Stitch right over the top of the tape, no problem. Okay, turn. Turn. So hard to see. And then I'm stitching over the tape again. Just like that. And when you get to the top, back stitch. Okay. So then your pocket is stitched on. Okay. So then you can remove the tape, or you can remove it later, it doesn't matter. Scotch tape is wonderful for sewing, holding things in place. You can use it when you're doing embroidery, machine embroidery, works really good. If your piece won't fit in the hoop, put the stabilizer in the hoop and then tape your piece to that stabilizer and then stitch it. Works pretty good. Okay, so then you want to do the rest of the bag. You want to fold it right sides together. Right sides together, edges even. Stitch all the way down, top to bottom, 1/4 inch seams. Now, if you have trouble on your machine with the vinyl going through the machine, tape a piece of paper to the bed of your machine, and that will help it slide. And also use a Teflon foot, if you can, if you have one. If you don't, put some Scotch tape up underneath the bottom of your, stick it to the bottom of your presser foot. That works too. Or masking tape, something like that. Okay, so now we have our tube. So I'm using the hack to do the squared off bottom, which you can find in the link below. Basically, you bring the two middles together. This is not a video about that hack, so I'm not going to go into detail, but you bring the centers together and clip it on the clips. Okay, I must really like vinyl and orange. I don't know, weird. Okay. So I'm going to clip that. Clip one on each side. Just to hold it. Okay, so there we go. Then you want to take, and I have a template for this, put the rectangle in the corners here and here, and you're going to cut that off. Now, because this is vinyl, it's really awesome because you can just stick this on here and rotary cut around it. The main thing about the corners that you're cutting out is that it needs to be 1/4 inch taller, regardless of what rectangle size you use. Okay, it needs to be 1/4 inch taller for the bag than wide, because you're going to sew a seam down here, which is going to take away 1/4 inch of your bag. So get these cut out here. And here. I love this little guy. He's awesome. I'll put a link to that down there too. Okay, so that's all cut out. And now you just sew this bottom right here, across the very, very bottom. Okay, so I sewed the bottom right here, and then I've got my notches cut out on each side. So then you take your clips off, and then you would open this up. It's exactly like in the hack video. Open this up and lay it this way and stitch across the bottom right here to make the boxed bottom. Do that on both sides. And you see, I sewed across this one. And now I'm going to pull this one together and sew across it. And then we'll have a boxed bottom. Okay. So there we go, we have a boxed bottom. Okay, Now, the only bad thing is it's inside out. So now we have to turn it right side out. So I'm going to do that. And I'll catch you in a minute. Okay, boy, that is probably the least fun thing about working with vinyl, clear vinyl especially, is that I've got a crease in it, is that it's difficult to turn right side out. Goodness. Okay, so there you have the bag right side out, boxed bottom. Okay. All right, then you want to take and do your bias on the top and the bottom. I mean, on the front and the back. So I just take my bias and measure roughly, go around like this. And you don't have to do the top of the two where the straps go, okay? You only have to do the front curve and the back curve. So we'll measure this. All right, don't need that anymore. All right. So all you do is take your bias. You see how the bias has, on one side you can see the whole face, and then this is the back side. You can see just a little bit of the edge there. That's the back. Okay. So you want to put it on with the facing, the wider side, which is it's just very small amount, but it's definitely wider on one side than the other. You're going to put that on there. Whoops, can you see that? Put it on there and clip it, right? And just work it around, roll it around. You get it on there like this. I'll do this backwards so you can see what I'm doing. And you can feel the vinyl up in there making the crease like that. See, like that. Okay. Just keep going all the way up like this. I cut mine longer so that I can cut it off after the fact to the right size. Okay, so you're going to do that on both sides, right? And then we'll do the straps. It's very simple to do all of this and come out with a really cool clear bag. Not too shabby. And we'll do the other side. Okay, I am stitching this from the inside of the bag on the top, not this way, right? Stitching on the inside of the bag. So I'm going to cut off these little extra that's up here. Same way I did it before. Line up the ruler with the vinyl and just chop them off straight across. Lovely. Oh. Now we do the work with the little template thing that you made where you cut out the fabric. Okay, so you cut out 4 pieces and we're going to take them and sew. We're going to fold down the long edge 1/4 inch, and you can press it so it's nice and flat, and we're going to top stitch over that. Okay, so see, I top stitched over the bottom and I folded it up and top stitched it. You're going to do that on all 4 pieces. All right, so they're all 4 done. Top stitch them all. All right, then we're going to stitch them 1/4 inch here and here on this curved part only, not on the top. Okay. Okay, so after you get the sides stitched here and here, you want to take and go in here and clip with your scissors, and then clip these dog ears off too. Now, when I clipped the dog ears, I started at the stitching and went straight up so that I had more of a point down here, and because I just want to get rid of this bulk right here, like that, and then go in and clip the curves, because we're going to be turning these right side out in a little bit. Once you have them all clipped, then you want to take your bag. One other thing I forgot that you need for this is a 2-inch strip of fabric, because we have to make a little connector for this square ring here. All right, so you need a 2-inch strip of fabric, not very long. It doesn't matter how long. You want to make a mark on your 2-inch fabric 1 inch over. I'll show you that. Let me make the mark and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so here's my 2-inch strip of fabric, and there's my line down the center. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some double-sided tape. You could do this with an iron. You can just iron it, but I love my double-sided tape, so I'm going to use that. So you take a piece of double-sided tape and you lay it on top of the line that you drew. Okay, like that. And when you can get it to peel up. Okay. Peel that off so I can still see my line, but I have tape on it now. And so I want to take the long edges here and here and fold them to the middle. They're stuck down. Okay. Then I want to take this to the machine and top stitch lengthwise on each side. Okay, see? Top stitch. So now we have our little connector. So when you finish your D-ring or your square ring and your template piece, right? It's sewn together on the sides, not on the top. You want to slide the ring piece up in here where you have the raw edges even. See, it's sticking out there. Raw edges even, and you want to put it in the center. Okay. Then we're going to take this And we're going to put it on the outside of our bag like that. Okay, and we're going to stitch it. Okay, so after you do that, see it's kind of loose, it's just kind of hanging there. Okay, you want to take and flip out that top piece. Oops, show you. Flip over this top piece right here. Pull up on the ring. And that will, you have to work with it a little bit. That will fold over that seam allowance inside of there. And it will give you this nice little cover that hides all of your edges. Okay, you want to do that exact same thing on the other side with just the strap. So this side I did this way, and the other side I'm just doing just the end of the strap, just the single end of the strap. And then we're going to thread the strap through the ring and put the slider on. So when you get it to this stage where you've rolled it over, you want to make it nice and flat. You can even push out your corners, you know, to get your little sharp corners there. And then you want to take it to your machine and top stitch across here, across this bottom part of this cover. Okay. You can also stitch on the top edges if you like. I don't think I did that on this one. No, I just stitched across the bottom here. So that's what I'm going to do on this one. Yeah, so there we go. So that's one side. And then we just need to put the strapping on the other side with the exact same procedure. I'll show you that so we can have it on this video twice. Okay, so you're going to take your piece, which mine is frazzled now because I sewed it wrong the first time. Make it more presentable. There we go. Okay, my piece. It's right sides together. It's sewn on the edges only, not at the top, not at the bottom. The bottom is the hemmed part. We want to take our strapping, slide it up inside, okay, center it, all right, and then we want to take this whole unit and put it on the outside of the bag, okay, and then we're going to stitch right here, 1/4 of an inch. Now, when you're stitching this, if you can see, you see my stitching line here and my stitching line here? You want to kind of gently pull that so it's at the outside edge of, well, this is hard to see. Okay, let me get rid of the strapping. So that it's at the outside edge of your bias here. You want it out there like that, not in here. If you have it out like that, when you flip it right side out, it will lay flatter. It's kind of a tight fit. So on both sides, you just kind of want to give it just a little bit of a stretch when you're sewing it. Make sure that you can see that stitching on the outside edges here and here. Okay, so I'll slide that strapping back up in there. Get it centered. Put it on here centered. And take it and stitch it. All right. Now, a lot of times I can't tell if my strapping is centered, so I pull it out the top a little bit so I can see it. See, I pulled the strapping out so I could make sure that it was centered and not like all wonky and whatever. Okay, and now I can actually cut it off. Okay. So now we're at the same place we were with this side. See, it's just kind of out here hanging out. and we want to take it and flip it over, and you want to pull up on the strapping and pull down on this stuff, on this sleeve, and it will go up in there nicely. Then we can top stitch over here. Poke out those corners first. Okay, so basically at this point the bag is done. Got the ring and you got the strapping on this side. Okay, so then you just take your strap and make sure you don't twist it. You want to, this is the top outer part of my strap, so I'm going to come in the back of the buckle here, and then in the other side, like that. Slide it up. Okay, then making sure that it's straight and not twisted, I'm going to come in to the outer part of my bag, going towards the inner part of my bag. Pull that up. Okay, so these are laying flat with each other. Okay, and then I'm going to put this through the slider. It's going to follow the same track as the other one, straight through like that. Okay, then you want to take this end, this tail end, and fold it over like that, and you're going to stitch across here, and that will make it where it can slide back and forth. There, so it's stitched. So now, as long as I haven't twisted anything, we have the complete bag. Oh, ta-da! That's simple. And it'll hold a small bottle, big bottle, whatever. Where's the phone? Hold the phone. Ah. Oh, it's over here. And a phone. Put the phone in here. Got my phone, got my drink, I'm all set to go. There you go. Like I said, I will put the links to all of the other stuff that I mentioned so that this video will make more sense if you go look at those videos, and if you get the pattern, that would be helpful because you can't do this without the pattern, and it's not my pattern. It's Lynn's handmade design, and I really like her bag patterns, and so go check her out. And until next time, keep sewing.